What's up, y'all? This is Coach Raph. This is In Between the Yards, baby. Let's go. What's up, y'all? It's Coach Raph. It's another one, In Between the Yards podcast. I got an extremely wonderful guest, straight monster, Coach Q, representing University of Utah. Friend of mine. This guy's amazing. Played at University of Utah, 2003, 2005, 2004 to 2005. He's also. I'll let him give his resume. But I mean, he has so many accolades. I can't even describe them all. But he's a friend of mine, and today the focus is going to be on a bunch of questions I get from you high school athletes about the whole recruiting process. I'm going to ask Coach Q the type of players that he wants on his team and how he does his own little bit of recruiting. So without further ado, I give it to Coach Q. I appreciate you being here, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate this opportunity.
That's what's up. So kind of walk me through, because I know you played for the U, you spent some time in NFL, and then you coached in the NFL and you coached college. You did both. So if you don't mind kind of explaining like your resume, your big resume, you feel me? So
yeah, it's been a journey.
All right, for sure.
It's been a journey. So I got drafted in 2006, and I left the state of Utah. Got drafted to the Titans. I was at the Titans for 4 years. So I ended up getting hurt. I tore my calf, and then they ended up releasing me, and then I signed with the Washington Redskins at the time. I played there a year, then the coaching staff got fired. So then I signed, but the good thing was the offensive coordinator for the Redskins was also the coach that drafted me when I was with the Tennessee Titans.
That's what's up.
So when they get fired, he gets the running back job in Seattle.
Okay.
So when he gets the running back job in Seattle, once my contract expired, first thing he did was I signed in Seattle.
Gotcha.
So after that, then I wouldn't play the year with Buffalo.
Okay.
So I finished my career with the Buffalo Bills. And at that point, I just got tired of signing a one-year deal.
Yeah.
Going all around. So I decided to retire.
Gotcha.
So when I retired, I wanted to get into juvenile probation. I wanted to help the youth.
Now you're talking about my language.
Cities, yes.
Let's go.
So that's what I went to school to do. So
yeah,
I came back to school when I got done to finish my degree.
Okay.
So when I came back to school, I literally came back on campus to finish out.
Word.
Yes, I didn't.
At the U or?
At the U.
Oh, that's what's up.
So when I came back, they were, the coaches were like, "Hey, well, you come help us out if you're going to be around. We'll pay for your schooling and everything like that." They try to make it seem like they're doing you a favor, right? But in reality, the NFL will pay for my school, and then there's something called a retention point.
Yeah.
Right. If I graduate, then Utah gets a point for that.
Oh, okay.
Towards NCAA. So when I came back, it was a guy by the name of Jay Hill.
Okay.
Jay Hill was a corner in college, and he was the corners coach, but they had just moved Jay Hill to coach the running backs.
Okay.
So Jay was like, "Okay, you help me coach the running backs," and I said, "All right, boom." So that's what I did.
Okay.
So how it comes back full circle is this. 2 years later, Jay Hill gets the head coaching job at Weber State.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
But I worked closely with Jay Hill for that year,
okay.
Explaining to him how the running back worked, and he was giving me tips and ideas. We were feeding off of each other, and he was learning the position.
Okay.
So when he gets the head job at Weber, he calls me. At this time, I'm back in California because I was trying to get into juvenile probation, so I had just finished my degree.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the test to get into juvenile probation.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is it took me about a year to pass one of the tests, to pass the test, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as I finally passed the test, now I'm going through the interview process.
Gotcha.
Jay Hill calls me and offers me. I said, "Man, I've been busting my butt trying to pass this test for a year now."
I know the feeling.
And he called me, and when he called me, I said, "Sure, yeah, I'll take the job."
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because this is a profession that's really hard to get into.
True.
You get guys that GA for 5 years.
Yeah.
Graduate assistant. Now you got analysts.
Yep.
You got all kinds of different roles, but to get into an actual position coach is really hard.
Right.
So I couldn't turn it down. I couldn't turn it down. So I took the job and I went up there with Jay Hill I was there for 7 years. And I always told my players, like, I wouldn't ever leave you unless it was something big that I couldn't turn down. Like, I wasn't leaving for money.
Yeah.
And then a guy by the name of Urban Meyer.
Oh, Urban. All right.
So a guy by the name of Urban Meyer gets the head job with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he calls me like, "Hey, you ready?" I said, "Am I ready?"
That's
"Yeah,
dope.
let's go." So I left Weber State to go coach in the NFL. You know, but
That's
again,
fire.
it wasn't me chasing jobs. Or,
Yeah.
like, it just was happening for me.
Yeah, I feel that.
It was happening for me. That's why I just knew it was God's timing. Because even though I wanted to work in juvenile halls and work with, underprivileged kids,
Yeah.
okay, that would have put me in a box.
Boxing out facts.
Right now, I can travel the country, go recruit different kids and bring kids in,
And still use your degree.
still do
facts.
what I wanted to do in the first place.
Right.
So that's kind of how I got here. So I worked in Jacksonville for a year.
Okay.
Urban, and
Yeah.
we get fired after 13 games. So that whole debacle happened.
Yeah.
And then I get another secret call from someone that this Utah job was going to be open.
Okay.
And that's how that happened.
No, that's what's
Coach
up.
Witt, and it just worked itself out. So
That's so
it all
dope.
came full circle, man. So every time I try
that's
to
dope.
leave the state of Utah, it keeps bringing me back.
Keeps calling me. that's what's up. No, I from what I know, man, you a stand-up dude. And so I think any coaching staff would be blessed to have you, you know what I mean? And it is a blessing because, one of the things I do is I'm kind of in that field. I work with, just youth with a plethora of different issues and problems in inner city. I was born in inner city, so I'm not better than nobody, but just having the right mentor. There's plenty of kids that you've helped or influenced to have a better life. Because people don't understand, like, even with football is going to come to an end, right? And so you're
Main message.
big facts, right?
In one day.
It's going to end. And so I played ball with some of the people, and stuff like that. And, everybody kind of goes their direction, but it's the intangibles of, like, on the field play versus how you do things on the field and how you do things off the field and stuff like that. And so I get a lot of kids, man, that they want to know, hey, they ask me, and so I'm going to ask you because you're the professional and you got a ton of experience, is, Coach, I don't have enough film, and I want to play, should I do JUCO or should I do walk-ons and stuff like that? Or should, how does it work? If I do a walk-on, is there a certain day? How if you were in my shoes, what would you do? So I'm asking you as a student athlete, what would you do? I'm asking you those same questions.
Well, walk-ons, how we pick our walk-ons is you still have to be able to play.
Okay.
Right, because you don't just want to bring on any walk-on, because if they can't help your team, and you get a few injuries, then shoot, that walk-on might have to get in the game.
Right.
So you still want quality walk-ons, and with guys that say I don't have enough film or things like that, okay, then I would suggest junior college to get you more film. But if you can't play, it doesn't matter if you go to junior college or not, you can't play.
Can't play. That's facts.
That's some of the things that some kids don't realize. Because we can evaluate talent,
right?
And some things, some people got it. Some people hit the genetic lottery.
Yeah, true.
Right, the genetic.
True.
You can look at your parents and say thank you. But some people hit the genetic lottery. Some of us haven't.
So, facts.
You can tell if you're going to be a guy or not, right?
Right.
If you're 5'5" and you're a senior year in high school, you're running 11-2. I want to do something different. Do something
Facts.
different.
Facts. Well, wouldn't I wouldn't say Utah State, but like Weber. I mean, some of your guys probably transferred from Weber to the U and stuff like that. And so, because you have both experience with Weber and University of Utah and the NFL, if say you got the kid that's like 2-star, possibly walk on at Weber, right, and put in the work, and he wants to come and impress you guys, do y'all actually have a day, or is it always just PWO?
Oh, well, you have – when I was at Weber, I mean, the type of kids we were getting were quality kids. And one thing that I don't look at is I don't look at stars.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't look at stars because I trust my eyes. I trust my evaluation. I might see something that you don't.
Yeah.
Right. For example, you got Rashid Shaheed, who's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL right now with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
Okay, he came from Weber State.
That's what's up. Shout out to Weber.
Somebody missed on him.
Yeah.
Right. So then you got Taron Johnson, who's the starting nickelback for the Buffalo Bills, who's arguably one of the top 3 nickels in the league.
Yeah.
He came from Weber State.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Jonah Williams, playing defensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, he went to Weber State.
That's what's up.
So we got guys in the league, and we just trust our evaluation.
Yeah.
Because that means somebody didn't evaluate right, and they let these kids, get through the cracks.
What do you have to say about that? Because I think that's a coaching error.
It is. It's a talent to be able to evaluate talent. Real talk.
Facts.
Because everybody can't do it.
No, that's true.
But that's why you get that's just like you say Alabama get all these 4- and 5-star kids.
Yeah.
But everybody that go to Alabama don't go to the NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
You see
Facts.
what I'm saying? So
Facts.
it's a talent to evaluate talent.
Facts. What kind of when you're recruiting for your running backs, right? And even with your NFL experience and stuff like that, what kind of player do you want? To imagine, do you want the athlete that is just, they got all the glitz and glamour, or you want the kid that's coachable but that has some talent? But what kind of athlete do you look for? If you were to go to Long Peak, Corner Canyon, Payson, or what's that other place? Syracuse, Park City, because you have all the different divisions and stuff. But what kind of athlete do you want? And I'm talking about attitude as well as talent.
So what I look for is I look for intangibles. I look for things that I can't teach you, right? So if you have something that I can't teach you, I can teach you everything else.
Yeah.
But I can't teach you how to be bigger. I can't teach you how to be faster.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I can teach you how to play the position. I can teach you. Now, then the next thing that comes in is attitude, right? Okay. To play this position, it is a very violent position. Right. So you cannot be soft. Right. You can't be soft. So I look for attitude. Yeah. I want to see, what are you doing this for?
Gotcha.
Okay, because it's going to come a time throughout that season where you're going to have to make a decision. Do I still want to do this? Yeah. Because it's very hard on the body. It's very taxing. Yeah. Mentally, physically. Facts. So you're going to have to make some decisions. Yeah. So I want a kid that he loves it. And how it is today is a lot of kids that don't love it. They love what the game brings to them. Right? Yeah. They want the NIL deal. They want the IG post. They want the pictures. They want the girls. Okay, but do you want to play football? So it's a difference.
Facts.
It's a difference.
Yeah. No, that's dope. As far as you've been around. You've. The thing is I feel like a lot of kids they dream from when they're playing youth to, you probably did the same, high school, college. You've played at the highest level. And so when you look at kids that, that have these dreams and stuff like that, and that say I'm willing to put in the work, how often do you see those kids that you coach actually take it? Is it a coach's inspiration, motivation that get them through, or is it really just sheer will?
Well, I think it's both. If you have the ability to connect with a kid, then you'll get that kid to do a little more than he has in him. Right?
Gotcha.
It'll go above and beyond. So one thing that I look at, it's not. Sometimes it's not the kid's responsibility, because a lot of the kids, they don't know. Right. So if I'm the smartest coach in the world and I know football inside and out, but if I can't get this kid to understand football and out, I'm worthless.
Yeah, no facts.
Right? I'm worthless. Facts. So one thing, a statement that I live by is the messenger is sometimes more important than the message.
Damn, right? That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. You know what I'm saying? It's deep, man. I was telling a kid, because I did military too, man, and you can have a guy who worked extremely hard, outworks everybody. But if he has a crappy uniform, people ain't gonna respect him as much. You get a guy that doesn't do half as much, but his uniform look good, right? That sends a message right off the bat. And so, I get that. When it comes to high school coaching, what do you feel is the biggest flaw of a lot of high school coaches?
You know what? I don't want to get into the biggest flaw, because when I interact with coaches, it's not typically on the field.
Oh, okay.
When I go to different schools, I'm going to schools, I'm sitting down with coaches in their office, so I'm not not really seeing them really coach, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I don't want to depict that. What I will say is, you do get some high school kids that come in, and one thing you got to know as a coach when you're in college is assume nothing. You got to teach them everything.
Okay, like that.
Right? Assume nothing, teach them everything.
I like that.
Start from the ground up.
Gotcha.
Right? Because then even if they know something, then the verbiage might be different.
Okay.
Right. So you have to start from ground up on how you teach these kids.
Do you feel that daddy ball affects the game a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know that because I don't care if your daddy called me or not. If you can't play, you can't play.
Facts. And if you are good, that's how I feel. I feel like if you're doing daddy ball and your sons are, if he's good, then hey, it speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
And I hear little things about the daddy ball, but that's on typically lower levels.
Yeah.
Pop Warner and things like that. But man, this is a production-oriented business. If you're gonna help me win, you're gonna play.
Facts. And so I got another question. It's kind of to touch on the last one. So, say I do get picked up by like a JUCO, because I'm actually gonna be interviewing another coach, and he's a JUCO coach, good dude too. And then I'm like, okay, what should I do as a JUCO other than ball hard? Is there other intangibles that I need to explore to give myself the biggest chance to go to San Diego State or University of Utah?
I was a JUCO kid, so I went to JUCO.
Love it. In fact, share your story, because all these viewers, I got a ton. They want this story right here. Y'all listen up. Just shut up and listen. Listen up. All right.
So I went to JUCO, and pretty much I had to go to JUCO because in high school I didn't know about a A through G. I didn't know about a core course.
Yeah.
So I didn't learn about a core course until I got into my senior year.
Okay.
And by that time it was too late, because one of the schools that I was at, I went to 4 different high schools.
Okay.
So one of the schools that I was at, they just wanted me to play football. So I had 2 PE classes. And one thing about parents that most parents need to know this, it is not the school's responsibility to make sure your kid goes to college. It's their responsibility to make sure your kid graduates from high school.
Right.
And with them graduating from high school, that doesn't mean they're going to meet the college requirements.
Right.
They're going to meet the requirements that it takes to graduate from that particular high school.
Right.
That means he might not need algebra, 2
yeah.
years of algebra, the
Right.
English is. So you have to know the core courses and what it takes to get to.
Yeah, because they look at all that.
Yes, because I was recruiting a kid and he didn't have, the proper classes.
Okay.
The core courses that is needed. And when I told his mom, she was like, "No." I said, "Well, I'm telling you this: if you go up to that school, they're going to tell you, their job is to make sure he graduates."
Yep.
And she went up to that school, and that lady told her, "Well, I'm just trying to make sure he graduates," and she flipped.
For real.
But again, like if you don't know what you're doing as a parent, you have to check those things because again, that is not their job.
Yeah.
So I went to junior college. I went to Citrus College in Southern California, and one thing about it is grades, because if you come out of out of a high school, if you come out of high school, you need a 2.3 core GPA.
It used to be 2.0 back in our day.
It used to be a 2.0.
Now it's 2.3.
Now it's a 2.3. But if you're coming out of the junior college, it's a 2.5.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure you're on top of your schooling, because if I come in and recruiting a kid and he's short on his GPA, but it's another kid that has, probably a 3.0, I'm going to go with the 3.0 kid.
Absolutely. I get it. No, I get it. I see it happen. And you get guys that have all the talent in the world. Them books, I'm telling them, books is harder than the feels for them sometimes. You know what I mean? So
and then what kids got to understand is, because my kids said too, well, Dad, I don't need to have a degree to be successful. You don't. You are exactly right. Right, but I want you to have a degree so you show me that you can finish a task.
I said, you know what, bro? I said that, Coach. I said, graduating, I got 7 degrees, bro. I got 7. So I
congratulations to that right there.
You know what I mean? So it's not that I was extremely smart. What it shows, the administration, the coaches, is that you have discipline. It's discipline. It's the saying, you go into class, you getting good grades, I can depend on you to go out on the field and follow my instruction.
It's the same thing in the real world.
Facts.
It takes to be successful, you have to have some sort of discipline.
Facts.
Right? You have to be able to, finish a task.
Right.
Because that's what life is. Life is a lot of tasks.
And that's why you're successful. I mean, you've done a lot of different things, but even it shows me you have the wherewithal to be a finisher, even with, exams, right? Trying to get a licensures, even for my job. Like I have to pass a licensure, which comes with studying. You had to do it. And so all that can transcend to success. But it's like, I feel like a lot of kids look at it like, oh man, I need to just get on the field. I got all this talent. And it's just like, bruh, what you just said is golden. Like
I signed 3 freshman running backs this year, 3, and they are talented. I don't trust them. So you ain't playing. Tell it how it is. And they know, I don't trust you.
Yeah. They got to earn that too.
You got to earn it.
Yeah.
You got to earn it. You can be as talented as you want to be, but if I don't trust you, I'm not putting you on the football field.
Facts. Do you feel that there's more our brand of football from back in the day to now? Do you and this isn't a dig at my younger audience, but do you feel that there's more entitlement now versus back then?
Everything now is entitlement. I mean, I'm living it every day. We got kids, man. I mean, when I was in college, my scholarship check was $620
a month. Yeah.
Okay? $620 a month, and they fed us 1 meal a week.
Yeah. Oh, a week. Yeah. That's brutal.
These kids now, they get up to 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
Okay, their scholarship checks, some of these kids just scholarship alone making more than their parents.
What?
Yeah, and then you get a free truck.
Yeah, I know. I seen that, bro. I seen it.
You get a free truck, and then you don't have to come in the building. You have something called a red card.
Really?
On your red card, it's restaurants throughout the city, Salt Lake City, that you can go to the restaurants and have a meal with your red card.
No, I got one of the coaches. Shout out to Telavasa, his son, a wonderful dude. I think he's redshirted, but he's like, yeah, we got a truck. I'm like, bro, I had a bike, and at Michigan, freshmen weren't even allowed to have a car. Yeah, you know what's up.
Yeah,
We couldn't have a car. Freshmen had to walk. You had to go through it. Like we had more meals because the campus, but no, you could. Freshmen weren't allowed to drive. Like you had to pay your dues as a freshman. Like, and now and then how do you feel about the NIL deals? Do you feel like that's affected the game a little bit?
I'm going through it right now.
Well, yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that these kids are able to, get paid
to win. Yeah, absolutely.
So but right now, in my opinion, this is not what the University of Utah feels. This is my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
I think with the NIL and the transfer portal is hurting a lot of kids. And what I mean by it's hurting a lot of kids because everyone thinks they're better than what they are. So everyone wants more money than what they should be getting.
And they can just quit.
And not only that, you get guys that go to transfer portal, and then some may never make it out.
Oh, right? Okay, gotcha.
Just because you go to transfer portal, that doesn't mean you're going to get picked up.
Facts.
And then what it also does is now, I'm not going to look for a high school running back right now. I'm going to look for a transfer portal guy.
Right.
So now that just takes a spot from a high school kid or a junior college kid.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
But
I get.
This is my opinion.
No, and I get that. This is not the University of Utah. This is just a personal opinion. So don't take that out of context. All right. No, I feel that. Yes, I love because I'm a fan of 90s basketball, Fab Five. I felt like Jalen Rose and all those guys should have definitely got something. I feel like, and this is my personal opinion, if the school is making millions, you have more meals, right, for the kids, something. You know what I mean? So I think that's especially how broke we were back in the day.
Yeah, and then so every game we win, we have something called Victory Monday. So on Monday, you have big steaks, you got king crab legs, you got all. And some of these kids, they don't want to eat it. For real. They'll leave.
Straight up.
Do y'all know this crab leg right here costs about $100?
They just like, yeah, right.
I'm like, and that's the entitlement.
Facts. I see it. I see it.
I don't get that part. Don't worry, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, I'm like facts. No, facts. When it comes to I love all the free game you're giving us. When it comes to the parents, and I love that you said that. I feel like some parents do a good job at making sure that their kids, as far as like on the right track. But there's one thing that I'm an advocate, and you can tell me if you feel that I'm wrong. I can take constructive criticism. I feel that there are certain programs that don't have weightlifting programs for their sophomore teams, right? I totally disagree with that for various reasons.
We're talking high school?
High school. And so they say, but you have some sophomores that play up, right, to JV and varsity, and they have to work out every day with varsity. But then you get some coaches like, no, I don't want to do that. I personally feel that there should be some type of workout program that should be consistent and fluid from the day you become a sophomore all the way up to varsity. The game plan should be the same. Everything should be in uniform. Whatever they're learning at varsity should be learned at sophomore. I feel like it should be a pipeline.
Oh yeah, if that's, I mean, if you want these kids to be in your program, you should be teaching them the same things.
Absolutely,
that makes the transition smoother.
Right.
I mean, but I'm not a head coach. I'm
Yeah.
not running the program, so each person might have their own views of why they do it that way. But I would look at it as a feeder system, right?
Absolutely.
Let's get everybody on the same page.
Right.
Therefore, the transition is that much more easier for the student athlete.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's kind of crazy. Like I've never understood that. Like most coaches don't do that. There are some, and that's just like my personal opinion. But one of the other things too is like, how different was it coaching at the college level versus NFL level?
You want to know what the main difference is? I'm gonna tell you the main difference.
Egos?
No, wasn't no egos, because one thing about the NFL guys, every great player wants to be coached hard.
That's dope.
And if you coach them hard, whether you're a butthole or not,
production,
they will deal with it.
Okay.
Now, where you're gonna have an issue is if you're up and down. Like,
Okay.
don't go in there
It's
trying to be their
inconsistent.
friend. You have to be consistent, because if you're a butthole, they will figure out how to deal with you.
Okay.
Right?
Bet.
But if they don't know what they're dealing with, then you're gonna lose them. If you're one guy, if you're one way one day, the other way, you have to be consistent with those guys.
Okay.
Right? You have to. And then the biggest deal with coaching in the NFL and coaching in college, in the NFL, all you do is coach football.
That's
Here, 80% of your job has nothing to do with football.
for real.
Nothing to do with football.
Feel like it's just managing, babysitting, and
Got to make
putting out
sure
fires.
kids are going to class, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got to make sure a kid is making his weight. Okay, got to make sure he's on time. Right?
Yeah.
And NFL, you come late to a meeting, don't worry about it. I'm not going to call you.
You're fine.
You get fined. That's $15,000.
So you get tired of losing money, right?
That's $15,000. Give me all of that, right? I don't have to worry about any of that. Right?
Yeah.
I don't have to. I'm calling kids the night before, making sure, hey, we got this tomorrow.
Yeah.
An hour before the meeting start. Hey, everybody good? You need a ride? You need to, now you have to make sure these kids are where they're supposed to be, because you're in charge of them.
Yeah, you're a player's coach. I can tell you, and those are the best coaches to have, man. I always deal with. I mean, I even take it a step further, man. I do my best to, even on offense, to know all my kids. I want to know what's going on at home. You good? Like you have to. The best coaches
have to
do what they implement themselves in the kids' lives, and
you have to be effective, because again, as a human, I don't care if I'm a coach or not, I go through things too.
Facts.
Every day is not a great day for me.
I feel that.
I know these kids are going through things.
Yeah.
Right? They have families. They
Right.
have people tugging at them. They got
Yep.
people thinking they're going to the NFL. They got
Facts.
people asking for this. They got people.
Facts.
I have to make sure I am in tune with what is going on in these kids' lives.
Okay.
If I don't know what's going on in their lives, I cannot get the best and the most out of them.
Facts.
So I have to. It's a must.
One of the other things too, man, is kids ask me about money management, and I'm really good at money management, but I'm always learning, because there's a lot of people that know more than me. Now, I have also college athletes that watch Between the Yards. Shout out to Safe Streets, our sponsor. Number one in security. If you guys need some security at home, holla at me. All right, safestreets.com. One of the things is, like, when you're dealing with some of your guys that go to the lead and stuff like that, and they get that first big check, what would be your advice for finance? Because I'm gonna keep it real. Like, when it comes to like Black people, African American people, I feel like the family members are tugging at us like, oh, hey, you remember, and so you sometimes can't get ahead because you feel like they've been so supportive that you got to take care of everybody.
Listen, you speak in my life.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about it, Coach. Let's get real.
So I might not be the one who to ask when I got my first big check.
Yeah.
Straight to the Land Rover dealership. I had to buy me a Range Rover. But it got so bad. It got so bad where people asking me for money, asking me for this.
Did you feel guilty?
I did because I felt like if I make it, then we all make it.
Yeah.
But then I didn't realize what came with that, right? Because we all think if we go to the NFL, we're all going to be rich, we're all going to be
Facts.
this and that, and that's so far from the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so my third year going into my third year in the NFL, I had to change my voicemail, and my voicemail simply said, "How you doing? You know who you reach, but if you're calling for money or you're calling for a favor, don't even leave a message."
Hey,
Seriously.
boundaries.
Yeah, because it had gotten so bad to where I had got down to like $10,000 to my name, and if I didn't make that team, I was in trouble.
You was done for, yeah.
I was done because I'm helping
Everybody.
right? Yeah. So even with my mother, okay, my first 3 years in the league, my mother got 3 new cars.
Gotcha.
Right? My mother would call me,
Yeah.
Say, "Here, son, give me your credit card number." Picking up a car,
And his
picking up
mom,
some
right?
His mom.
His mom.
Until I got to a point where it says, if it's not life or death, you can't call me for anything ever again.
And that's taxing on your mental health, right? Because you're like, and then you got family members. They, oh, you different now. Like he made it to the lead. Now he got, yeah.
And you get people in our community to where now you selling out, or now you acting funny. Now they want to rob you, or now they want to. It's just different dynamics. So you have to kind of be careful. Mm-hmm. So what I do now is if I help someone or do something, I say you better not say anything about it.
Yeah.
If I hear about it,
it's done. Cut off. Yeah.
Cut off. So I did because I do a lot of things in the community, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want nobody to know. I don't want to take any credit for anything.
Facts.
I'm doing this out of kindness in my own heart.
Yeah.
And keep it that way.
No, facts. Like especially like when you come from the inner city, you know how it is, and you see people struggle, and that's where, man, I got a big heart, man. It's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say no, and even now, bro, it's like, I have kids, and when people ask, they don't think about your kids. They don't care about what's going. Hey, man, you doing good? Yeah, man. It was just the car broke down, and
remember how you asked for the Cash App? I said I don't know.
Yeah,
I sent somebody this morning, just this morning.
No,
just this morning. It happens, man, and I don't want to tell my whole story, but I come from humble beginnings, so I know what it feels like,
together.
Right?
Yeah.
So I come from a family of addiction. So
gotcha.
So I had to struggle, and I know what it feels like being at the bottom. So I try to help people because I know what they're going through, but sometimes. In my mother's case, I was hurting her more than I was helping her.
Yeah.
She wouldn't pay her bills because she's like, my son gonna bail me out.
Yep. Exactly.
So, but it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard saying no. Even to this day, it's still hard for me.
I don't really. I kind of. People know that I was adopted, man. I lost my biological father was a drug dealer, and my mom, my biological mom, she was a principal, and she hooked up with the dope boy, and, you know what I mean. And then addiction, got seeped in, and I my story's for a different day, but I think you and I, man, from darkness comes the brightest stars. You know what I mean? And so, like, look where you come from, and look at what you've done to your life, for yourself, and the same with me, man. And I think that, like. I think when it comes to coaches like us, I mean, you're on the way. I'm here. You're way up there. But
you hear it. I'm here with you.
No, facts. But it's beautiful to understand that there's a humanistic approach to everything you do, how you move, and the thing is, man, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so it's kind of like the LeBron effect. People give crap to LeBron, but it's like this guy had to do a lot of different things. He grew up without a father, coaching himself, like, first time to do anything. And so, like, maneuvering through school and all the stuff you're dealing with school and trying to make the lead. And like you said, man, being down to your last 10 grand, like, I gotta make this work. You know what I mean? That's
People might say, okay, 10 grand, that's a lot of money, but 10 grand is a lot of money when you got to pay bills.
Facts.
You ain't got nothing else coming in.
Facts. And kids they don't care. They gotta eat, right? You know what I mean?
You know, my kids don't know what a struggle looks like.
Yeah, facts.
I did that so you didn't have to.
Jay-Z, right?
For real.
Hov did that, so hopefully you have to go through that. No, facts, bro. And I think it's a beautiful thing, man. I think that is really cool that you're the type of person that you are, because your players are going to see that you're real.
Oh yeah, I'm genuine. I tell my players all the time, like, if you have success, I'm going to cry for your success. If you fail, I'm going to cry because you failed.
You a good one, man.
I cry in front of my players. I say, you still can't whoop me.
You know, so, it's funny, man. I'll have to put this up, but you remind me. I had a conversation with Roy Jones. This is 2007, and you remind me a lot of him. He come from humble beginnings too. Yeah, but he has the same type of personality as you, man. Just a go-getter, good dude, good heart. And it begins with the conversation, man. And so, like, my goal is to kind of reach out.
And he used to be my favorite boxer too.
Oh, for over Roy was bad, bro. Roy was bad. Roy was cold, man. I don't think he get his flowers enough.
I don't think so.
Like, Eddie had the swag, man, with the you know what I mean? He was with it. I got a picture with him, man. People probably don't even notice. He actually came out with a shoe, a Nike shoe. It was Jordan's shoe. Yeah, I actually I have a picture of it, man. He had his it had his Rolls Royce, man. And I'm like, I want to talk to this cat just to kind of see where he's at. You know what I mean? I met Michael Jordan before, and I was under. I think Michael Jordan's an asshole, but y'all can bleep that out. But Roy Jones was straight hood, straight nice, you know what I mean? And so but he was like just hard work, man. Like, his dad used to mess him up, like, you know what I mean? But he learned a lot along the way. And so, like, it's coaches like you, man, honestly, that make the world go round. And I feel like a lot of kids that come from certain situations that don't have a father at home, you're the type of role model that, you know what I mean? Because
pay it forward, man.
You have to, because you see the kids that kind of have the good background, and you see the kids that don't. And I'm not saying that a single mom can't raise a phenomenal kid. I've seen it. I've seen fathers and mothers, single household, raise phenomenal children. I've seen vice versa as well. You know, the other end of that. But I feel like you have the chance to touch somebody's life, and you the real deal.
I'm just me, man. I tell my kids this all the time. I wake up and I got to give you every ounce of me because I want you to be successful for you.
That's what's up.
And I can't cheat you, and I won't cheat you. So I'm going to give you everything I know. You will know.
My last question, Coach. I love that. This is one of the best interviews I've ever done, man. I love it. My last question is, and I'm if you're a high school athlete, right, and you're trying to figure out, okay, I do want to play, right? And I'm decent enough, right? Would it benefit them from knowing, or would it benefit them knowing each, maybe Division I and Division II, 1 or 2, whatever? It would benefit them from knowing when the walk-on schedule is. Like, I don't know if the U does put theirs out.
So when we have, we always have a walk-on tryout in the spring.
Y'all hear that? Listen.
So we always have a walk-on. So if you're a full-time student and you were a qualifier coming out of high school, you can walk on. You can try participate in the walk-on tryouts. Right?
And do y'all typically give that date out to the public?
Yes,
or?
It's typically somewhere around, I want to say around May. I don't know, but when it comes out, I can shoot it to you. And then you have what we call PWO.
Yeah, prefer
PWOs, where a kid he's really good, but he's not quite scholarship good just yet.
Yeah.
So he walks on, and then he can probably earn his way to a scholarship.
Right.
Those are your PWOs. But if kids are already enrolled in the university that they're attending, they can. Every school has
have their walk-on date.
Yes,
right.
Every school.
Y'all hear that? And so what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start with a lot of the JUCO schools, and then I'm gonna get into the Power Fives and all the rest of that, because I feel like a lot of kids they don't. I'm telling you, that's the question. Well, coach, like I don't know any coaches, like I don't. And it's like, if you really there's a movie with Kurt Warner, how he was like going to all these different tryouts, It's
the Kurt Warner movie.
Yeah.
I watched it on the plane a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so he, you might have to get in your pickup truck. And I told a kid, you might have to go down to University of New Mexico or some of these schools that you people don't even think about, Iowa State or whatever, or Idaho State, and you find that information out and you just keep grinding. Like, it's not going to come to you.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, and then you got enough schools here in town, right? You got
Absolutely.
They call it Utah Tech now.
Tech, yeah.
Utah Tech. You got a Weber.
Yep.
2 hours from there, you got Idaho State.
Yep.
So you have opportunities.
Right.
There's a lot of universities here in the state of Utah.
Right.
That's give you an opportunity.
No, absolutely. I've taken up a lot of your time, Coach. This is Coach Q. I'm telling you, if your kids go to the U or if you want to go to the U, you're in good hands. This guy is the real deal. Coach Raff approved. He don't need my approval. He's the man. So this is one of the best interviews ever, man. I thank you so much for sharing your story, and this has been great. So this is In Between the Yards. Coach Q, Coach Raff. We out.